Hey guys, and welcome back to another episode of Food School Smarter, Stronger, Leaner podcast on a mission to inspire a world where food makes us better. Hey guys, today is September 1st. It's the beginning of new school year and you are part of food school, so it's your holiday too. And guys, please do celebrate it with a cup of green, colorful veggies. 1 cup, 2 cups, 3 cups, as many as you can handle, guys. I am going to be celebrating this beginning of new year with amazing meal of sauteed asparagus and chicken livers with some red onions, red bell peppers, UV treated mushrooms for vitamin D with some olive oil and my favorite spices. That's my way to celebrate it. What's yours? Please do eat some green and colorful veggies today for me. Guys, today, before diving deeper into nutrients of concerns and eating to prevent those important deficiencies, eating all the essential nutrients, today we are talking about stress eating. Guys, stress eating is a quite common thing. Almost, every person has or had it at some point in their life. That's just how our brain and body evolved to manage stress. Stress for us means security, means nourishment. Food does help us to relieve stress, but if we are constantly using food as our own tool to manage stress and our emotions, then it's not going to lead to anything good. Then it will most probably sabotage your fitness and health goals. And it just won't make you allowed to feel your very best and perform your very best. And it can also affect so many other aspects of your mental and physical and emotional health. I've done my share of binge eating, of stress eating, of overeating, and sometimes it was with sweets, with, highly processed sugary foods. But then not so recently, but maybe 4 years ago, it was more about just eating much more than I needed. My food of that helped me to manage my stress and my emotions was at that point a lot of nuts and seeds. I would take a whole bag of nuts, and no matter how big that bag was, cashews, almonds, I would eat the whole bag. Sometimes it would make me feel really heavy and sometimes even sick. I also would eat a lot of nut butters, and those foods in moderation, they're amazing. They are healthy, but a whole jar of nut butter, it's really heavy food for our digestive system to get through. And yes, it does numb our feelings, and for some time we're not feeling that stressed, but then all those issues are still unresolved and we'll have to deal with them later. But on top of that, there is that guilty feeling, and we self-sabotage, we sabotage our fitness, our energy levels, our health, and also our diet becomes not so balanced because of those overeating episodes that can backfire on so many levels. And it doesn't matter again whether we are eating too many of healthy foods or not so processed foods, foods full of nutrients. Overeating is just not a great idea. And especially it's not a great idea if that's the only way we can manage our stress and our emotions, right? If we leave those things unresolved and instead choose to eat, like those things will just not go away. They might stay deep down somewhere, but they're still there. And so I guess for me, all these episodes of overeating finished when I put effort into learning how to manage my stress and my emotions without food. I learned how to divorce food and eating from my emotions and stress. And there are a few strategies that I'm sharing with you today that legitimately worked for me. And now I never look at food as a way to manage my stress and emotions or to even celebrate. Like, I just separated food from emotions and from managing my stress. Before I give you a couple of the best strategies that work the best for me, guys, girls, if you are someone who is doing some starvation diet, you're always trying to deprive and to be on some sort of, again, deprivation diet, not eating enough essential nutrients, maybe essential fats, maybe carbohydrates that you need, maybe foods with specific vitamins and minerals. If you are constantly under eating, starving yourself, depriving yourself of essential nutrition, there is no coaching strategy that will help you. And I learned that also through personal experience and with a lot of my clients. Like, first, you need to establish a baseline of nourishment where your body and your brain feel safe. And only after that, you can start gradually working on making peace with food and rebuilding that relationship. And I know it will take longer and you might be impatient to look and feel better. But if you are truly interested in healing and repairing your relationship with food, that's the first step you gotta do. You gotta establish a baseline of nourishment. So for a while, it might take a few months, it might take a few years. For every person is different. You gotta nourish yourself. And it doesn't mean to just stuff yourself with whatever, whenever. No, it means to create a good, nutritionally adequate meal plan and have your breakfast, lunch, and dinner. It's not the time to do intermittent fasting. Feel nourished at the end of each and every day. And only after that, when you feel like, you are nourished, you don't feel that might actually heal your overeating and binging by itself. But for a while, first step is to establish that baseline of nourishment without any diets, without any restriction when it comes to essential nutrients that your body needs. You gotta first establish baseline. And then 2 of my best strategies. So number 1, something that I use that helped me a lot. Every time now when I have thoughts about food, when I have thoughts about eating, when I'm in the middle of something and it's not the time for lunch, dinner, or breakfast, I ask myself, am I hungry? Am I physically, legitimately hungry? When did I last have food? What did I have? And you usually can kind of figure it out. Physical hunger, it builds up gradually. A physical hunger, it feels, in your stomach and everywhere. And it's like your brain is not working. You're just slower. There are many signals that tell you that you are physically hungry and you do require nourishment. It's not craving for some food because you just read an advertising or watched a video or saw something on Instagram or TikTok, or it's not craving, it's not want for a specific product of. I'm having trouble saying food because sometimes you do feel like, you need your protein or you need your, greens or something. But a good indication, if that food is simple, whole, unprocessed, that's probably craving for nutrition, not for some product. If it's some highly processed food, that's probably something you can skip. But anyhow, guys, anytime you think about food, you ask yourself, am I legitimately hungry? And if you are hungry, go and eat some food. I myself always have in my house some canned seafood, some canned veggies, some canned beans. Those foods are really high in nutrients. Most canned foods these days, just make sure you check the ingredient list. Most canned foods are healthy. They're preserved really well. I usually go for canned sardines in water or olive oil. no other ingredients, sugars or preservatives added, then I might go for some canned white or red beans, or some canned maybe mushrooms, maybe green beans, maybe palm hearts. There are so many amazing, great canned veggies. I might also eat an avocado, some sauerkraut. So those are the foods that I usually keep at hand for those instances when I need to have a meal and I don't want to be cooking anything. And also what's really important, those foods don't ever make me want to overeat. Like if you are working through rebuilding your relationship with food, then probably you don't want to be keeping in your house foods that you tend to overeat on. So that's why, for me, for example, nuts, not really a great snack, because I still might get carried away and eat too much. So I tend to choose foods that make me feel nourished, keep me full, but I don't overeat on them. Like I don't ever overeat on canned tuna or sardines or even avocados. They just don't have the thing for me that would, in some instances in the past, make me overeat, right? So choose those foods that keep you full but don't make you want to overeat. So this is number one. And then number two, when especially at night, at the end of my work and studying, I might start working on some project or doing some studying, and for some reason, I just feel, stressed, like everything frustrates me and things aren't working out. And I feel that urge to go and eat and to just numb myself, and relax. And the key word here is I feel that need to relax. And so in the past, I would go and eat because I felt like that was the only way that would allow me to feel relaxed, and somehow it would help me to numb that feeling of stress or the need to accomplish certain things, or it would help me to feel more chill. And if there was some emotional stress, it would numb my feelings. So everything kind of went away for a while. I think a lot of you might be familiar with that thing, that when we eat, all of those bugging and disturbing emotions and feelings and thoughts, they tend to go away, and we kind of in that sleepy state, sleepy, relaxed, and nothing bothers us too much, right? So that kind of state overeating on different foods can produce, if it's something highly processed with a lot of sugars or some stimulants, that, we might even start feeling really happy and energetic for a while. Those things, unresolved things, still will be there once we get back to our normal senses. Anyhow, so in the past, especially at night, that would happen. I would feel for some reason overwhelmed and stressed, and I would use food as a way to de-stress, to relax, and stop worrying and being anxious about things. But then now I have a different strategy, and I learned this through practice. So whenever I feel stressed, overwhelmed, I stop doing everything and I ask myself, like, what is it I'm feeling? Like, what kind of emotions makes me uncomfortable? What am I dealing with? What happened today? Why do I feel that uncomfortable? Why do I feel the urge to go and eat? And if there is some feeling, emotion I need to deal with, then I stop all the work. Everything, it can be done the next morning, the next day, maybe the day after, it depends what it is. And I journal about that, and I allow myself to feel that emotions. And I ask myself, what can I do? Because food is not the answer. What can I do to actually deal with that? today or maybe the day after. Maybe I need to talk to someone, like, to resolve that. Maybe there is a conflict that I need to resolve in myself, so I journal more. Maybe I need to meditate and just make my mind still. Maybe I just am really stressed. Maybe I did a lot of working out, a lot of work, working with a lot of different people. Maybe I coach someone whose emotions got to me. Like, I try to figure out, where am I feeling? Why am I feeling so much stress? And if I just need to relax, I'm like, okay, it's the time to call it a day and allow myself to relax. And I don't have to do anything today. I can resolve it tomorrow and day after. Right now, I'm going to have a cup of tea. I'm going to take a hot shower or hot bath. And then I'm just going to go to bed, maybe watch some Star Trek, some Friends, and go to sleep. And I can resolve or work on that stressful situation or whatever that issue might be the next morning with fresh head and my refreshed energy reserves. So that's what I do now. I don't feel guilty about feeling stressed. I allow myself to feel stressed or emotionally disturbed, and I allow myself to do nothing. A lot of times I would overeat because I didn't allow myself to do nothing and to feel that and to just relax. I wouldn't allow myself to do that. And now I do. I do allow myself. And so if I need some time off, I take it. I switch off my phone, my computer. I might go out for a walk. I might do some drawing, playing some music, listening to music, dancing. Again, I might just drink a cup of tea, take a shower, and go to bed. And this really helped me to overcome my binge eating episodes, because now I allow myself to feel emotions, to feel stressed, and to allow myself to stop, to do nothing, to relax and resolve what's coming up the next day or day after. And also, if there is an urge for a craving for some food, I also learned to tell myself, there is always tomorrow. If you truly want this food, if you truly want to enjoy this, piece of cake or chocolate or cookie, then it's still going to be there. So you're going to have it tomorrow. You can have anything you want, but do it tomorrow. It's still going to be there. And believe it or not, that really helps. That self-talk really helped me so many times. I can't even count the instances of times it helped me. So the food is going to be there tomorrow. Make a decision tomorrow. If you still want it in the morning, eat it. And I never had to have anything of that in the morning. In the morning, I'm like, no, I don't really want that. I want to have my fruit and my veggies and my fish or my shellfish. At night, it just, something, we crave those foods that in the morning we don't even understand, like, what was the whole thing about, right? What was the big deal? Anyhow, so to sum it up, first, boys, girls, don't starve yourself. First, you need to establish a baseline of nourishment where you're not starving yourself for proteins, fats, carbohydrates, essential vitamins, and minerals. Make sure that you're having a great plan, and you might need to just stick with that plan for a while before ever trying to go on any diet if you need to. Then the second thing is ask yourself, am I hungry? And if you are hungry, have at hand those food that make you feel full, that don't require cooking, but don't make you overeat. For me, it's canned food like a can of tuna, a can of sardines, and some canned veggies, and canned beans, maybe an avocado, maybe sauerkraut. I love my sauerkraut, by the way. It's amazing for my gut, and I actually love it. And the second thing is deal with that emotion, journal about it. talk about it, maybe with a friend or with someone, maybe with your roommate. Allow yourself to feel stressed and relax. Allow yourself to take some time off and resolve things later. Allow yourself to be human, guys. Drink a cup of tea, take a hot bath, watch some Star Trek, go to bed. And there is some work going on in the apartment on top of me, but thanks God we are almost done here. So guys, those are top key strategies that help me to this day to never overeat, ever. Like, I don't even remember when was the last time I had an urge to, no, actually thoughts do come, but I don't go with those thoughts. I think those strategies just work. But again, you gotta practice them and allow them, again, give them time to work, to have an effect. Practice makes better. Never makes perfect, but it makes better. So practice and let me know how it goes. And if you have a specific issue around stress eating, let me know also. I'll try to give you my best advice from coaching practice for my personal experience, how to deal with that. You can always reach out, Angela at Create Yourself That Today for that. And I'm going to give you my best advice, my best tip. Besides that, don't forget to share this episode with one other person who might be struggling with binge eating, with stress eating, with health issues, with weight issues. Because of that, there are so many of, people struggling with this issue, guys. So just share this episode or the information from this episode with one another person to help them. Besides, you're going to remember it better. You're going to have something in your toolkit for a longer if you share it, if you teach it. So share, teach for that reason, and practice it if you are having the same issue that I used to have. Practice. And guys, again, happy 1st of September. Welcome back to food school, and celebrate it with a cup of, or 2 or 3 cup of green or colorful veggies. And as usual, till next time, eat better daily.